name is SE4You. I'm one of the co-founders of Biennale Foundation. We are running SE4You. SE4You is a campaign to raise awareness of gender equality on media, Facebook and Instagram. I studied business administration in the University of Cyprus, and I'm now a regional migrant center coordinator in Caritas Cyprus. I participated in an Erasmus program, which were exchange program between the universities. So I went to Athens, and there it was the first time that I worked in an NGO, non-governmental and non-profit organization. We were working with homeless people and women that was victim of trafficking. So it was the very first time that I came across with the people that was marginalized and affected by all these social issues that we are discussing. SE4You actually means few words. We use it in Cypriot dialect, let's say, to say SE4You, to say few words, when we want to attract attention with someone and tell him something that is important. SE4You launched in 2020, in March. It's the first digital campaign in Cyprus. We try to use Cypriot dialect when we communicate with our posts, and it talks about gender equality, stereotypes, discrimination, how it affects us, but with a more informal way, friendly way, so we can attract people who really don't know about gender equality and this phenomenon. I think first of all, if you never came across to these social issues which called sexism and what we call patriarchy, it's the first, let's say, step to get to know about the phenomenon and how it affects all of us. So it's important for your everyday, let's say, how to see your surroundings and your routine and anything that you came across in a gender lens, what we called. I think it's important when you come to choose your career path, your professional, let's say, choices. It's important when you really know that you are not affected by any stereotypes, and you are selecting something that really makes you happy. I started the project when we identify that the majority of people, especially in the Cypriot community, they were ignorant about discrimination based on gender and how it affects our lives. So we wanted to, let's say, close this gap and raise awareness about these issues. Our posts we're running for a year, but then we evolved our post into a book, which is this. And also this book have been turned into a children's book, which is a story that when a child reads this story can identify, can learn about stereotypes, can learn about inequalities, discrimination. Children's book now can be used in schools, and we are trying now to give all this book, provide them into schools, and we are also collaborating with the government so they can finance and copy the books and being provided into schools. The book is in Greek and it has been translated in English and Turkish. The child's book for the moment is only in Greek. Apart from the government and Gender Equality Office, we gain fundraising from Oxygono, Cyprus International Institute of Management, Together Cyprus, EY, Youth Board Cyprus, and US Embassy. At the time we launched the campaign was in March 2020. It was the time that the pandemic hit in Europe, especially in Cyprus, and we are trying to engage people to care about anything else apart from pandemic. So imagine that was a challenge at the beginning. And second major challenge was to see after a long time if we really had an input and impact into what we called awareness. So it was one of our challenges there. Apparently, because of the comments, the messages we received, the comments, the feedback, we realized that we really had some of kind of an input, and we had a presence into the community. The surprise here was that after 6 months that we launched the campaign, people were already know about the campaign. People we didn't know, they were talking about it. When we were talking about it, they're like, "Oh, I know the campaign. I know you into media," and that was a surprise for us because we didn't even know that within 6 months we could reach people and have a presence. So that was a surprise because it was a bit into its more short term, let's say. Right now we are trying to disseminate the book. So we are planning to do more presentations, especially in the north, because we want to promote the Turkish book for the Turkish people speakers. Our next move is to arrange more presentations to disseminate the books, and also find more places to host our books. For example, here in WTH we have our books, so available whoever wants to come and get it with a minimum contribution. Also, we are trying and we are planning to have a artistic intervention by people who are young artists and are interested into social issues like gender equality and discrimination. Especially in the Cyprus ecosystem, let's say, we can be identified as a social innovation because we are trying to raise awareness through the basic knowledge, but in a more informal way, in a way that when people really don't care about something, they become to bother about social issues like gender equality and equality, and because we are using also the Cypriot dialect, which is something that is not haven't been before into and let's say a campaign, and it's a digital campaign, and it's not a one-off. It's something that you can easily have access into this information. I think what we value the most in our campaign it's the team. Without being a team and using our strengths individually and in collaboration, we couldn't come to these, let's say, results. So I, let's say, suggest for people who have any aspirations and they want to turn it into creative, innovative ideas, I would suggest to find allies or to find other people who share the same hopes or concerns, so they can do something together. I always team working. It's valuable to make something that can success.